American Baptist College is a place where your dreams become reality. American Baptist College is a place where you evolve into that person that you've always been scared of, or you've always been told you could never be, or your reality of your life circumstances says you don't deserve this because of the color of your skin, because of the sex that you are, because of your sexual orientation or your decision of lifestyle, that you don't deserve this opportunity. And that is a bold-faced lie. American Baptist College believes in everyone, no matter what you or who you come from. American Baptist College.
Good afternoon to all of our viewers, perhaps via Facebook and all of our social media platforms. My name is Jeremiah Parks. Welcome to another segment of What's the 411 on American Baptist College. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We're grateful for your presence. Allow me to also say Happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans. We're by far grateful and always forever be indebted for your service and sacrifice. Which brings us to this particular week's segment. We're highlighting some of our alums of American Baptist College. And as we even get ready to get started, I ask that perhaps if those who have not already, please look and find us on Facebook at American Baptist College, or perhaps even subscribe to our YouTube channel. There you can again find us at American Baptist College. And if perhaps you're looking for more information, please visit our website at www.abcnash.edu. Who's our moderator for this segment is Mr. Andre Trice. And I want to introduce Mr. Trice and let him take us further into this discussion on today. I'm turning over to you, Mr. Trice.
All right. Hello, everybody. Greetings, greetings, greetings. It's your boy. It's Mr. Trice here at the American Baptist College. How many of you know it's a lovely day today? It is so lovely. It's such a great day. I know it's a little gloomy outside and, a little chilly. But at the end of the day, we're here. And so guess what? Get your groove on. Yeah. Bob your head with it because it's a lovely day. And I'm excited for this day because why? We have two amazing people that we will be interviewing today. And that is in the like of Mrs. Myka French, class of 2018, and Mr. Rahim Buford, class of 2019. And I'm excited to have both of you take out time of your busy schedules to talk with us today about your experience here at the American Baptist College. So listen, to everyone that's listening and watching, as Mr. Parks said, hey, if you consider American Baptist College, hit up our website, abcnash.edu. Hit that apply now. I promise you, it'll be the best decision of your life as we emerge here at American Baptist College. Good afternoon. I hope I did not lose y'all. Good afternoon to you, Miss Myka and Mr. Rahim. How are you both doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh, great. Wonderful. I have a lovely life. I'm so blessed.
Good. I like that. I'm glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. And so we want to welcome you. And again, thank you both for taking out the time to speak with us today. And our motto, our new motto that we are adopting is emerging at ABC, emerging on the Holy Hill, as we call it. And so we know that both of you have experienced, have a great experience and a great story about being a part of that story, right? That history of this amazing school. And so I have a couple questions for you both, and I'll ask one, and then that same question will go to the next, okay? And so we will start with you, Miss Myka French. First, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, hello, everyone. My name is Myka, now French, and I am excited to just be able to do this interview. Thank you. I have such a big heart and love for American Baptist College. Born and raised here in Nashville, Tennessee, ventured off, went to school at Fisk, and ended up getting married, moving out of town, started going to school, never finishing anything, got divorced, came back home and found myself just stuck, not knowing what to do next. And that's when I joined the American Baptist family. And the rest is history. Nothing but blessings ever since then. So thanks for having me.
Great. And Mr. Buford, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, thank you, first of all, for just even thinking of such an idea, because I believe that we need to do more of this to remind people that there is an HBCU like right around in the neighborhood somewhere that's historical, that I mean is rooted in the community. And I'm just so happy to be here. I'm Rahim Buford. I'm an original Nashvilleian, and there are not many of us left, but I am one of them. And yeah, so how did I had a blessed, grateful mercy. Like my life is like the Bible in the sense of like what happens when you can go all the way left and so close to the bottom and be resurrected. And so my journey in my path to American Baptist College began actually when I was in prison, and I was in prison for at a young age, and I met Dr. Harris, who is the American Baptist College president, and he was teaching Vanderbilt Divinity School classes at Riverbend Maximum Security Prison. And I happened to take that class, and it was the first time in my life that I was in a classroom full of lovely, wonderful, beautiful Black people who were American Baptist College students and who were like on fire. Vocabulary like making me feel like, man, I want to be one of them. And so I developed some relationships in that class, race, religion, and ethnicity in America, and I didn't look back. And in 2015, I enrolled at ABC and graduated in 2019 at the top.
Great. That is so good. And so while we're on you, Mr. Buford, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that experience of being in the facility and learning, and then coming out and then learning more. Like, what was that transition period for you? How was that for you?
Yeah. Well, before we get to the transition, what I will say that without a doubt, outside of my faith experience and just, like having a personal relationship, with God, education became my liberation. The more I learned, the more I grew in consciousness and awareness. And while I didn't know I was changing, people around me knew I was changing. And as a result of the changes that were occurring, God made me a magnet inside of the prison. And we actually created a school in prison, SALT, Schools for Alternative Learning and Transformation. And so after a little bit before the class ended that I was in with Dr. Harris, he spoke prophecy into my life. And I will quote what he said to me. He said, when you get out. He didn't say if you get out.
Right.
He didn't ask me how much, was my sentence. He just said, when you get out.
Now, sir, that'll preach.
We are going to give you a presidential scholarship. And that was in 2008 when he said that. I was not released until 2015.
Wow.
He spoke at my parole hearing. So that was a faith test in between time. And when I transitioned out in June of 2015, I immediately enrolled at American Baptist College. So in the fall, I was taking classes, and I only took 2 to begin with because I actually left prison with 18 college credits. And it was quite the learning curve for me because I had no computer knowledge whatsoever. I didn't even know how to turn it on. And American Baptist College, which I always credit with like making that teaching me how to use a computer, teaching me how to use software products, Google. Everybody at American Baptist College is doing Google Docs. We sharing pages, and I mean, it's just like I learned so much, and I was like a sponge. Everything I know about computers, I can pretty much say I learned it at American Baptist College. But even more than just the learning the technical side of how to navigate a computer, that was faith seed planted in vision for me. I mean, one of my favorite classes was college readiness that was taught by Dr. Walker. That's
Okay.
that's when I knew that I was on the path, because the thing about being at American Baptist College, the information, the learning, we had to actually put that into a physical type of way. There were always tests that made us develop PowerPoint presentations. We were always doing projects. We were always doing presentations where we had to speak. So American Baptist College really got me into the spirit that, you know, I had something to say, like my voice really mattered. I was always affirmed. And so, you know, even, you know, right now, my job is right here at American Baptist College. I don't know if you can see the school from here, but I'm really, and I just have to just, you know, be a little, you know, brag and bodacious a little bit, but like, I want to just say that my American Baptist College certificate on the wall here, you know, the honors, and yeah, and it's just here. And that's what Dr. Harris told us to do. He said, when you get it, he said, put it on the wall wherever you're working. So I'm working right here at American Baptist College, which is right across the street. Yeah.
So good, man. Thank you. And Myka, what about your experience here at the Holy Hill? I know you stated earlier that, you know, you had went from one season of your life and doing things, and then you got here and felt stuck. What led you to American Baptist College? And while being here, what was that like for you?
So I have to start back to my foundation. Being a Nashville native, American Baptist, of course, is this this school that for me, it was like you have to have some connection to. I have family that had been here. My uncle graduated. Growing up, I did start preaching at the age of 15. So I was around this group of believers and people who were some way somehow connected and tied into this school, whether it was my pastor or his pastor friends. And so I found myself, you know, always kind of wanting to inquire about the school. But as soon as I turned 18 and I got married and left, that just kind of went out the window. So I found myself coming back home. I want to say I know it was in 2015. So I didn't know what to do at that point. I had basically been in school for the last 10 to 12 years. I started here going to Fisk, left, went to Alabama, opened up a business near A&M, was working, going to Faulkner down there, and just back and forth, never being able to finish school because now I had started a new season. I was a family woman. I was, my testimony was constantly getting pregnant, but losing every child that we conceived. And so that was a toll within myself. And then pastoring at that time, pastoring in the city. So I was in school forever, but never had graduated. And I found myself coming home and I just felt like a failure, right? I felt like, gosh, I've been in school literally since I graduated high school and I have not one degree to show for it. And I remember sitting and thinking, and for some reason, ABC popped in my head and I had reached out and applied, and I came up, and that's when I met Dr. LaShante Walker. And for me, that was the yes for me, because I knew Trice and other people who were connected to the school, but to have a woman who had been down that road or similar to say, you know what, there's life after divorce, and you are a powerhouse and a jewel in God's kingdom, and let's get you back on track, meant the world to me. I came home from being this married woman doing it all right, so I thought, to now a single mom with this premature son of mine who had this amazing gift and ear for drums at such a young age. And I just needed help. And so I came and I got enrolled. And from that point on, life on campus for me was different, maybe from some, because I wasn't your typical student. I was, I was older in my older, I was older in my 20s. And then I did have this little boy. And then I was also working. So to have a school that was able to take my schedule, work with it, I was able to enroll in the classes I needed. And for some strange reason, whether it was day classes or night, I always had a job that would work with my class schedule. And then on days when I didn't have a babysitter, Sam was up there in chapel. Sam was a part of the family. And so that meant the world to me to have a family unit school. It was small enough for me to be able to have access, to have access, not just to teachers and faculty, but then to the president. That spoke volumes to me. And so from there, it was just finding out, how can I get involved? How can I get active? One thing led to another. I found myself showing up to almost everything. And it just, literally, it just became a lifestyle. It wasn't just an educational experience. It was now my lifestyle. I knew that every day Sam said, "Mommy, we're going to your school. Mommy, we're going to your school." It was a routine. And even on days when we didn't have class, we knew that we wanted to just be in that atmosphere. It was something about the spirit of ABC that I needed. And that actually was a part of my healing process. And so now here I am. I'm like, yes, anything that alumni y'all need, I'm here. Whether it's going on a trip to represent the school, I'm there. Whatever the case may be, because I really feel like it was like a lifeline that I needed at such a dark moment in my life.
That's so good. Thank you for sharing, both of you. And what's amazing to me is the two different spectrums, the two different walks of life, the two different experiences or narratives, if you will, right? That have led you both to a place of restoration. I think we all can agree with that. And so that's one thing that I love about American Baptist College. Myka, you stated it was a healing spirit here. It was a place of healing. Rahim, you said it was your place of liberation and getting that thing for you. And I can attest to that as well as an alumni of this great college. It was my incubator when I thought I was going to lose my mind. Right? It was that thing that sustained my mind in the midst of what I thought was the end of my so-called good life, right? And so American Baptist College is just that. It's a place of restoration. It's a place of advancement, like you can advance. And so looking at both of you, I know both of you have wonderful testimonies of what brought you and what you did while here. In a brief moment, share with us where you are today. What of American Baptist College do you utilize and use in your now? We'll start with you, Rahim.
Wow. That's the perfect question. I think most excellent question. One of the things you learn about being a student at American Baptist College is that there's an emphasis placed on social justice. And so that was my natural gravitation or pull within the school. And I just think it's important to say this to you, brother. You were one of the first people I met at the school. You made me feel so welcome. You opened yourself up and you said, "Hey, anything that you need." And whenever I saw you, you had a glow, you had a smile, you were kind. And I think that was really like not the personality of the college itself. So yeah, but since my graduation, I just walked into what I was taught. I learned the language, first of all, of systemic racism and white supremacy. But even more than that, the connection to the legacy of our ancestors who had been enslaved in this country, and how this institution was resurrected to give our people an opportunity to be educated. And so that language that I learned on around and about social justice is the work that I'm actually doing to this day. For example, while I was at American Baptist College, still a student, I founded the Unheard Voices Outreach, which is a not-for-profit 501c3 organization that takes me back into the prisons, where I advocate for the release of individuals who are eligible for parole, where we go into the courts and we have a watchers program, or when people get out, we provide them with cell phones, smartphone smarts. We teach them about smart credit. We teach them about smart banking. And most important, we raise awareness around felоnism and what happens to individuals when they actually exit prisons. And so that was something that you cannot divorce or separate from American Baptist College in and of itself. And so my work is decarceration. I am also the Nashville Community Bail Fund Director of Bail Operations. And so I joined the Nashville Community Bail Fund, and the Bail Fund has a partnership with American Baptist College. And this was in 2018. To this date, I've been able to bail out more than 900 Nashvillians. I've been able to free them from cages. Yes. And so our work now takes us back into the court. So we created recently a court watch, which any ABC student needs to be aware of this, so that when it's time to get you some field training, you can come to a partnership at American Baptist College. In fact, one of American Baptist College students is an intern here with the Nashville Community Bail Fund, Cyrus Wilson, who was cased for 27 years of his life. And so American Baptist College is written all over the work that I do. If it were not for American Baptist College, I don't know that I would be this deep into the work. And so, yeah, I'm doing what I was taught to do. And
That's
not
good.
only our classes around financial management, our classes in nonprofit management, everything that American Baptist College had to offer me, I now use. And my degree, the degree program that I ended with was entrepreneurial leadership. And I'm a leader in the work that I do, and it feels great.
Wonderful, Myka. And then after you, Myka, we will sum it up. But this has been good. Go ahead, Myka. Where are you now with Mrs. French and the movements that you and the King are doing, huh?
Yes. So before I answer that, as I go into answering that, I just have to say I am honored to share this platform with Rahim, because just hearing you talk, I don't know if you remember, but there was a class that we took together. I want to say it was Professor Green's, but I know it was upstairs in the library classroom, and we had a project. We were in groups, and our topic, I remember that we were given, dealt with prison and prison reform. And I remember looking at Rahim and saying, hey, this you take this one. Like, I'm gonna back up on this one. Like I think I was the note taker and stuff. But I remember hearing his heart and his ideas, and we nailed that presentation. And so I'm so godly proud to see you doing those very things now in our community. And if I could go into answering that question, I'm just in the same from a different sense. So my involvement at that time was, of course, community based in Huntsville, and I wanted to figure out how to create that same platform that I had there here in my hometown. And so coming back and graduating from American Baptist College, I took away just community involvement. I was a theology major, but I also took away entrepreneurial leadership, just being around Dr. Walker and listening to a lot of her teachings. And so I recognized that, okay, I'm a businesswoman at heart, like I rock. And there's so much to Myka. So what chapter are we going to write this year? And so I stepped out and I just started, just getting me in order and figuring out, what do I like to do? Because we change, we're evolving, we're emerging. And so in this new woman that I'm becoming, what is it that I like now? And so I found out, going back into beauty and going back into outside of beauty, but how I can make it a ministry. So I started mentoring young women and also adults. And so currently I do mentor some women pastors here in our town. That I just, we have our own little, segments, and we get together, and I'm just kind of their purpose pusher and making sure that we've got them in the right lane and keeping them focused. And then outside of that, I did get married recently. I do have a daughter. And so with my family, we have basically merged ministries. He's a part of a nonprofit that's called About That Life Movement. All of them have awesome testimonies. All of them were in the prison system. Some of them had double life sentences and should not be walking, but God saw fit to release them, and they all use their music. And now I'm not a rap fan, never have been, like Tupac and T.I. Outside of that, I'm your smooth R&B chick. But they actually caught my attention because their words are so powerful and the beat is dope. And so it got to the point where we just started doing a lot in ministry. Myka Ministries merged with BTL. And then when I married one of their members, it became now One King, One Queen movement. We actually do a lot of drive-in concerts now due to COVID. Just all about awareness from all aspects, mental health and wholeness. And just, you know, with him, you know, dealing with the fact of mass incarceration and just being a positive light in our community. We have an event. Our last event for the year is this Saturday. We've rented out Hadley Park in its entirety. We're doing it social distance wise. Yeah, we invite you guys to come out. We're just loving on our community. It's called Fourth Quarter Strong Community Kickback. As we fourth quarter, I know 2020 has been a year for us all, but we just want to continue to encourage and love on one another. We have so many vendors coming out to share their businesses and support each other. We have different people in the community speaking on the stage. We have some R&B artists showing their talent, dance teams, you name it, we got it. We just come in, we having a kickback. We're going to do it social distance wise and just enjoy one another. And so that's where I'm at now. I am hoping to go into a master's program. I've been in talk with David Lipscomb. So I do have some unfinished business that I do have to take care of before I can enter into that season. But I'm just living life, loving where God has me and loving his people.
That's amazing. I am so godly proud and peacock proud, as the old folks would say, because I know that I have a part in both of you all's life and matriculation at American Baptist College. And it just does good to see that you didn't quit. You didn't quit. You did not quit. Like, you're still here. And so with that being said, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And to everyone who has watched us, listen, we that place. We that place. And you should want to be a part of this team and this culture, this environment, this family. And so, Mr. Parks, thank you, and Miss Jones and Miss Thomas and Miss Bell for this opportunity. I hope I didn't disappoint you, but if I did, take it up with God. Y'all got it. Go ahead, Mr. Parks.
Ms. Trice, greatly appreciate you. Thank you all to our guests and those who are listening. From Mrs. French and from Mr. Buford, I hope you have seen and have heard more so that in essence, ABC is a place of grace and new beginnings as well. And so if perhaps you're looking forward to coming to American Baptist College, please, we will be more than happy to assist you. Once again, you can find us on Facebook, and prayerfully hope you like us on Facebook. There you can find more information at American Baptist College. Our YouTube channels, again, American Baptist College. Subscribe there. You can even see more information. And even if you please go to our website at www.abcnash.edu. Thank you to all of our guests and to all of our viewers as well. Thank you all so much, and looking forward to seeing you on the next week. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.